Hello, and welcome back to the BBQ Chicken Live podcast.
It feels good to be back, Eric.
I've been gone for like a month.
Been gone for a month.
Let's be back.
We're here.
Yeah, we went on a little hiatus. We just had to figure some things out, but we're going to be back consistently posting.
Yes, sir. That is true.
At least once a week.
At least if we can try. Once a week is pretty tough, but
It's doable. No, some people do daily.
yeah,
One day will be daily,
definitely.
but our episodes will have to be like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, but why don't we get right into it? So, what we're gonna be talking about today is something.
Something.
Definitely something.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about teams that are going to make the playoffs next year that didn't make it this year, and teams that will miss the playoffs that made it last year.
And players who might drop off.
Gucci's just saying that because he wants to talk some smack on Devin Booker in a little bit. He's just a little bit of a hater.
I was going to cuss, but I can't cuss on YouTube.
Now, the other thing we're going to be talking about is a player who's going to surprise everybody next year. All right, so I'll just go ahead and get started with the team that I think is going to make the playoffs that missed last year. And I really, really want to say, for me, I want to say the Wizards, but it's because I really appreciate Bradley Beal, and I feel like if he can get a whole season going, and Denny Avdija can step it up, but I don't think I can say the Wizards. I don't feel comfortable with that, so I'm gonna say the Hornets.
It's not a bad shout.
They're right there too.
The Wizards started off pretty strong, but yeah, that's the start.
Oh yeah, they did start off strong, and we were kind of everybody. They were the first seed for a while, and we were like, "There's no way this is real, right? The Wizards aren't going to be a top seed." And pretty much what happened is what everybody thought was going to happen. They fell off the earth.
They couldn't play defense. They couldn't score enough. Bradley Beal was gone at a certain time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to pick the Wizards. I'm sorry, Wizards fan, if I tricked you guys. But I'm going to go with the Hornets. This is the team that Gucci had making the playoffs last year. And they almost did it. They almost did it. They actually had the same record as the Hawks, who ended up being the 8th seed. But I think Lamelo Ball going in his third year, I think just they have young players who can get more experienced, and I think they'll play good basketball. I think they might lose players like Terry Rozier, maybe Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
But if they keep Bridges and LaMelo and have them just play together for a long time, I feel like eventually they're going to figure it out. So I say Hornets can end up being a 6th to 8th seed.
Yeah, definitely not a bad shout. I think the Hornets were almost there as well, so just getting a little more comfortable, as you said, young players, Melo still developing alongside Terry and Hayward. And yeah, and Bridges, yeah. Michael Bridges.
No, it's Miles Bridges.
Miles McHale.
Who's gonna
I
drop
feel like
off?
there's so many Bridges.
It's McKelsey's twin brother on the side.
Oh, okay.
I think LaMelo playoff basketball would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just Showtime basketball. No matter what,
Really
no matter what, I mean, he has his flaws to his game, but no matter what, he's Showtime basketball. There's nothing more entertaining than watching LaMelo do his thing.
And he's improving, so you know.
All right, so you can go ahead, Eric,
and
and tell us who's gonna make the playoffs that missed it last year.
I think next year who's gonna make the playoffs?
You're thinking Pistons, but I feel like that's
no.
You were talking about
I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Knicks can do it. I mean, they weren't that far off, to be honest. So
Yeah,
what was it, 6 games behind from going into the play-in? So I think with talent like R.J. Barrett, who can, shoot the ball well, and then you got Evan Fournier, who's a good role player, like a corner specialist, if you will, and you got your young guys, Obi Toppin, and I think just them developing. It's
Emmanuel
only been
quickly.
like 2, Emmanuel quickly as well.
Who's number one though?
2-3 years.
Maybe RJ Barrett can make that leap.
Maybe RJ can
But
make
some
that
teams
leap.
don't really. I mean, if you want to make the playoffs, you don't necessarily need that one number one.
You kind of do
Well,
now.
I don't think so.
The teams are fun with the Hawks.
Look at the teams that are in right now. It's 3 players.
It feels like the Raptors don't really have a number one. Well,
Van Vliet balled out.
Siakam did make the All NBA.
And Van Vliet did.
So I guess Gucci's right.
To an extent.
The Knicks do need R.J. Barrett to become the number 1 player.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but he's still very young, so maybe he could make that leap, and maybe Emmanuel quickly could make a leap.
I think so as well.
Maybe they could play good team basketball and make the playoffs.
And you trade Randall for...
That's kind of my thoughts. They might trade Randall potentially to
get a toaster oven.
Get a toaster oven.
Nobody's in the market for Julius Randle, I think.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. I'm pretty sure the Knicks can trade for something. They can probably get, I don't know, who knows. Looks like Donovan's wanting out. Maybe that's a good.
I just don't know what they would. They would have to give up everything you just said for Donovan. They would have to give up Barrett quickly, Obi, and then you'd have Randall and Mitchell. I don't think Utah would be a good. I don't think the Knicks would be a good destination for Donovan Mitchell, just because it doesn't really make sense to get Mitchell if you don't have good players around him, because he's already upset with having an all-star center next to him. It's like if you go to the Knicks, he ends up with Julius Randle, he's gonna ask out immediately.
But I think him being, let's say he does go with the Knicks and Julius Randle is there with him. I think they can work pretty well together.
And Randle's a bad teammate.
That's just like, I feel like it's a very limited ceiling. Like, that team's never winning a championship. I think so.
And they're just
Knicks.
In that rebuild right now.
No, if it was Mitchell and Randle, I just don't think that. I think Mitchell and Gobert is a way better pairing, and look at their ceiling is capped. They're never
second round.
Yeah,
stuck at a second round.
Yeah, but let's go Knicks. Let's go get out of this fucking slump you guys are in. This freaking slump that you guys have been in for a couple years, decades now.
Yeah. You got your team that is gonna make the playoffs, that missed the playoffs last
Cleveland. They might make it like 6. I'll say even 5th.
Good take.
Sixland out, and they're fighting for that play-in tournament. And it's like that was Darius Garland out for the playoffs, or towards the end he was out? He was playing.
I think he was.
It was just.
He might have been out. I know they were scoring. I know they were missing a key player.
And they had to play
Love was out also too, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think Love was out.
Sexton was out.
And that Mobley, who was nice.
Evan Mobley, oh man,
he was a little banged up too towards the end.
Yeah. And they have that veteran leadership too. They have young players.
They got LeVert.
Yeah.
He plays defense.
This is actually a really solid squad. I think that your pick is an easy pick.
I think they were
100% agree with what Gucci Bob's saying. The Cavaliers, that's a team that's on the rise, and don't let them catch you by surprise. They're gonna make a big run next year towards a 5 to 8 seed, I think.
I mean, they were almost getting out of the play-in with playing. They played the Nets, right?
I think they played the Nets. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's tough.
It's tough.
And they were banged up.
But even though they played the Nets, they still had like 3 games on them.
Or the Hawks.
Did they beat the Hawks or the Nets?
I'm not sure.
I think they beat the Hawks.
No, because the Hawks made
no.
I think they beat the Nets and lost to the Hawks. When everyone was hyped, then Trae Young happened. Happened. He went crazy. I remember he went crazy.
I think they beat the Hornets.
Did they beat the Hornets?
I think they did beat the Hornets. Yeah. That's
why the Hornets missed it.
But
anyways, okay, we're just getting way too off topic here.
Yeah.
The point is the Cavs are gonna make the playoffs next year.
Yep.
Another easy one that none of us wanted to mention because it was just too easy is the Clippers. We all know the Clippers are making the playoffs next year. Kawhi's coming back. Paul George is coming back. They could even go make a move. Eric, you're a Clippers fan. How would you feel about D'Angelo Russell being your starting point guard?
Starting point guard? Over PG. Well, we could put PG in, shooting forward and...
Small forward. Yeah,
small forward.
Because D'Angelo's a point guard.
Yeah. So, I mean, that could work. I would not mind having D'Lo.
You guys play a bunch of defense. Who's their starting point guard right now?
Who's their point right now?
Starting point guard right now is PG.
Reggie.
Reggie's our backup.
Out
but when PG's healthy, he's our...
PG don't play point guard, does he?
Well, no, he hands the ball, but he doesn't play point guard.
Oh.
I think with D'Lo, he is kind of inefficient right now, and he plays no defense. He'll just chuck up shots.
I think he has no D, and he doesn't come out when he needs to. For example, the
We saw
playoffs
that
with the T-Wolves. I mean,
Yeah.
where was
all
he,
the
man?
stories.
But I think that he was on the Nets and he kind of carried them all the way to the playoffs by himself, which is kind of crazy because if you put him with Paul George and Kawhi, I feel like it's something that could work when Kawhi and PG playing all that defense. D'Lo's gonna get wide open shots,
and it's not like he's not used to having stars because I mean he just had the Timberwolves with Edwards and Cat. So
You think he has to be the number one to do all that?
I don't think he has to be number one, but
Because as a third option,
as a third option, I think
he wasn't that good.
Yeah, but Paul George and Kawhi are way better than Towns and Edwards.
Yeah, but Towns was getting like double team in the paint, and everyone's on Edwards. So
but if you're
DeAndre's getting that 1-on-1, but he's not like.
if our team
I
handles
feel
well
like he'll get
defensively,
more open though. But
Yeah.
Instead of Paul George Paul George and Kawhi, they're gonna get so much attention.
Dude,
now.
With the
I seen that
defense-
playoff series. He was open a lot.
with the defense, we can give D'Lo some more open looks, get him comfortable.
Some fast breaks.
Yeah. And it's not like he's
And he's been playing defense too. He's been playing defense.
yeah.
This is last year was his best defensive season.
And he's not
you were
bad
paying
like
attention.
in the paint or anything. Like, he's good in field goal percentage as well.
Yeah, so
Pretty solid.
I feel like that's actually a solid spot. I don't know what you guys would give up
Yeah.
to get D'Angelo Russell.
Probably
but I
like
feel
Luke and
Reggie.
maybe Reggie.
I want to give it Reggie. He's been that man.
So
And him with PG and Kawhi back.
to answer your question, yes, I wouldn't mind having D'Lo on our team.
just depending on what you guys
Just
are
depending
seeing,
on what-
have to
yeah.
give up.
Exactly.
Okay, so now moving on to our second topic, we're going to talk about teams who made the playoffs this year that are going to miss next year. For me, I feel like there's only one answer. Or for me, there's one obvious answer, and it's the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz have been a consistent powerhouse in the Western Conference, but it just seems like there's a ceiling, and we've reached it. We know what this team is. They've been the same team the past 3 years. They've been a good regular season team that ends up choking or just can't put it up in the playoffs. With Donovan Mitchell being upset, their coach has already left them. Quinn Snyder's gone. I just feel like there's going to be a bunch of changes going on here, and none of them will be good.
They're kind of on their last leg.
They're
None
in
of them-
rebuild mode, basically.
Yeah.
Feels like a rebuild mode is imminent. I think Donovan Mitchell could be on his way out for sure. I think he can be going to... My number one thought process is the only one that makes the most sense is Miami. I think Donovan Mitchell's going to Miami. I feel like it's too much. It's too easy. It's just too easy of a bet because they have Tyler Hero. They have just young assets that...
But they don't ask for Jimmy, of course.
I don't think they will ask for
They
Jimmy.
don't ask for Jimmy?
I think Tyler Hero...
And Bam? Because they want that player.
I think
for,
Tyler Hero and 3 first-round picks will do it.
You think Tyrell's will match up to Mitchell's like that?
Well, when you're giving up a disgruntled superstar, you can't expect to get the exact value back because you're the one that has to trade this person that's asking out. So if Mitchell is asking out, I think Hero and a couple first-round picks is probably enough.
I could see the Raptors. They could trade him for Van Vliet or Siakam from some picks.
But I don't think they're young enough for a rebuild. Not for a rebuild.
Well,
Tyler Hero is about 22. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect for a rebuild. And then you get those first-round picks on top of that. You create a whole new team.
I think that's perfect for them, to be honest.
I do think they could, if they do end up trading for Tyler Hero and he becomes a starter for them. They have Rudy Gobert. They have really good shooters. I think they could end up being in the play-in, but I don't think they'll make it out. So that's my prediction. Utah is going to miss the playoffs next year.
This might be a shout, but I don't know. I think it might. In my opinion, I think it could either fall down to the Hawks
They
and
haven't
even the
played
Raptors.
defense.
I feel like the Raptors don't have that much
They have a good all-around
They don't have
squad.
that much backbone.
But I the reason why I would hesitate on saying the Raptors won't make the playoffs is Scotty Barnes had an amazing rookie year, and he's going into his second year. You still have an All-NBA talent in Siakam,
Van
Van
Vliet.
Fleet,
Yeah, Van Fleet.
You got
OG Anunoby.
You have Gary Trent too, who's been balling out some games for you. He can play some defense.
For me, I can't say the Raptors. I mean, what was the other team you said?
I could say Hawks.
Hawks.
Hawks just barely made it.
It
So
was just Trae Young, and they went crazy. That's why.
yeah, and John Collins could be on the move soon too. We'll see what they get for that.
Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from. I'm not really comfortable saying that the Hawks are definitely gonna make the playoffs next year. So we're gonna let Gucci do his segment about players who are gonna disappoint next season, because I think this kind of ties up to what he's about to say.
Oh, so Booker, he's not that man.
Okay, are you gonna say that the Suns are gonna miss the playoffs?
If Trey Aiden, Chris Paul's be what 38, 39?
37, yeah.
37?
38.
Oh, miss playoff. I think they don't miss playoffs. Might just drop to 5th seed.
The first seed.
I'll say drop to 5th seed.
Okay.
Miss playoffs.
Because they are the first seed with a
that's what I'm saying.
64-18 record, which is phenomenal.
You trade star center and your facility. Your point guard is getting aged, injury prone, and all he was complaining about calls. And you saw last game with Booker. If you're on his hip, he doesn't have that dribble move.
Right.
To get you. And they call don't call him Kobe. I don't want to hear that.
He hates getting double teamed.
He's not Tatum. Tatum can do it himself.
Yeah.
But I want to say Timberwolves at the 7th.
You think the Timberwolves are gonna miss the playoffs?
And Pat Bev leaves.
Whoa.
I was on him, but Pat Bev leaves.
But they signed him to a 1-year contract.
Oh, they signed him. Oh well.
Anthony Edwards going in year 3. Karl Anthony Towns. I feel like they have another move too. They just they signed a top 5 general manager. They stole the Nuggets general manager, a person who has drafted Joe Kick, Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, a bunch of Michael Porter Jr. So
that's true. I said Pelicans then. Zion might even stay.
you think? Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna miss the playoffs. If he doesn't stay, he's out of there.
I disagree, and I'll bang on the table against you, Gucci.
Wait, so
I bang on the table against that.
so if he's not staying, they're not making the playoffs.
That's gonna be
because Paul George and the Clippers would take that seat from them.
You never know. I think the East is tough, but they did make the 8th seed without Zion.
West.
What was that? Oh yeah, they did make the 8th seed. The
8th seed. Okay, my bad.
They did make the 8th seed without Zion, and they didn't have CJ McCollum for half the season.
Yeah, but Clippers
and Herbert Jones
Clippers missed
had an
PG
amazing rookie season.
He missed PG most of the half the season.
And what makes you think that Kawhi Leonard's coming back?
He missed basically 2 years, basically.
Yeah, I get that he could potentially come back, but if you're going to hypothetically say that Zion, if you're going to hypothetically say that Zion isn't playing, then no Kawhi.
No Kawhi. Paul George come back a full season. He was out for most of the season, and they're doing this.
Yeah.
So he comes back. They could beat the Pelicans for that spot.
But I forgot the Pelicans actually beat the Clippers, right?
Yeah, they beat us.
Yeah, but okay, you all you want, but they have more wins. And all that
ladies and gentlemen, is barbecue chicken.
It's barbecue chicken.
No, but I get what you're saying. It would be close. I just think that a full season of CJ McCollum on that team with Brandon Ingram, Valanciunas, and Herbert Jones had a really underrated rookie season that not a lot of people talked about. He definitely could have been an all-defensive player. He kind of got snubbed out of that, but Herbert Jones, he's somebody to keep an eye on. But if you feel that way, it is what it is.
But don't be surprised if my Lakers make the 8th seed.
The Lakers making the 8th seed?
Don't be surprised. No second year Westbrook with LeBron, and if AD could stop having weak bones.
The fact that you're saying that they're gonna make the 8th seed is kind of
wild to think about. Yeah, because they were supposed to be a championship contender.
Right.
Last year.
Yeah, but LeBron's getting age. You gotta think about that.
I remember
AD's always hurt.
I remember the day that you guys traded for Westbrook. I was like, "Wow, Westbrook is finally going to compete for a championship again."
Okay, hey, year 2 is always year 2. Like James Harden and Embiid. You can just get this is year 2.
Now I did say Russell Westbrook might have he'll probably have a better year than he had this past season.
Okay, that's fine with me. I
don't think he's gonna come back to Westbrook.
I say 17, 7, and 5.
I think he's just gonna be more of an assist man now.
It's just we all knew that Westbrook on the Lakers, it was just not a good fit. We all knew that when he got traded to them.
Yeah.
We knew that they needed more spacing. LeBron, this was the worst team that LeBron has ever created as a GM, as late GM. So I'm not comfortable saying that the Lakers are gonna make the playoffs. The West is stacked. It's more stacked than it's been in a long time.
And the team's pretty old too.
So that's one thing.
The team's pretty old.
Okay, this is our last segment. Also, actually, let's go ahead and talk about the finals. So we're game 2 right now. We just finished game 2, and game 3 is tomorrow. Let's just make some final predictions for now. We'll just see, and let's make final predictions right now. For me, I think the Warriors are gonna figure this out. It's very impressive that the Celtics are going back home and they're up, or they're tied going back home. But this whole time I've had either Celtics in 7 or Warriors in 7, and I've just been more impressed with what the Warriors are doing. The Warriors feel like they're kind of dominating this whole. They're kind of dominating this whole series so far. They did choke the first game,
but they're making every shot.
But I mean, look at the comeback. Game 2, they blew them out by 20.
Yeah, so it just feels like they're the more experienced team. But Jayson Tatum, he's not really showing up as much as a lot of people expected. But
the first game,
like I said, he's young, and I will say that until he's not young.
After he's 28, then we talk about it.
And if this man Poole comes out and comes to play on game 3, have a pool party.
Poole has one move and it works. I hate it.
Literally, when he has a good game, the Warriors always win.
It's like a party. Like a pool party. Every time Jordan Poole.
And Clay can be inconsistent, but Poole making shots.
Jordan Poole is so fun to watch.
Really is. He's a superstar in the making.
Is Poole gonna be the second now, or can Clay go to the third?
Clay is done, I think.
He thinks so.
He's that Miller. He's a spot up shooter who plays.
I don't mind Clay, but it feels like they can win without him. Unfortunately, it hurts me to say that, but they can win without him, I wouldn't be surprised if they move on from him pretty soon.
I think you keep him still. He has that elite defense.
But not if he's making them. He's not playing. He's not playing elite defense anymore.
Yeah, but they won't give him no super max. They'll probably give him a nice check.
But what if Clay hears that he could get a super max from somebody else?
Yeah.
Desperate teams will offer super max.
Yeah, that's fine because he could be the second option and hit spot up shots, and his full season back too. So he's feeling him.
Getting a feel, So
I have Warriors in 7.
Back, so.
Still, that's what I had from the beginning. And I'm still writing Warriors in 7.
I still think also Warriors in 7. It's gonna be a back and forth. Both teams are gonna adjust, watch the film, and it's just gonna be an all around just boxing match to 12. It's gonna be insane.
And when I say Warriors in 7, I mean. Down to the last minute.
Yeah.
Down to the last minute, blocked by James. I mean, the last minute, last shot, Warriors win it.
It'll be Clay hitting that 3.
It'll be Clay
hitting that 3.
At the corner, Reggie, Ray.
I have Warriors in 6.
All right, you know what hurts is I feel like we're on Fox Network when all of them say Warriors, 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 and you're like, this is not gonna end well, and we're all gonna look stupid, and then the Celtics are gonna be.
They're gonna post this on me.
They're gonna be the next. The Celtics gonna win the next 4 games.
I have Warriors in 6.
But Warriors in 6.
Yeah, Warriors in 6.
Okay.
First game, Warriors took it, but you gotta expect Howard for to hit 6 threes a game.
Yeah.
And they have every 3 possible in their face. Nothing they can do about that.
Yeah,
they don't usually do that. But the Warriors, they'll hit that 3, they'll cut, play defense, they'll get to the basket, and they'll get rebounds over you right now.
My mom brought quesadillas.
Nice.
Shout out Pablo's mom. Shout out Daisy.
So just kind of keep hitting 3s like the Warriors if they're hot. That's the thing. And the second game kind of proved it. They got blown by 20.
Yeah.
And the first game they hit every shot and they won by how much? By
Also, though,
they won.
I think Tatum needs to step it up, man. He didn't. I mean,
it's tough when you have Clay and Draymond on you looking
But
at you.
there were several times where I saw Stephen Curry guarding Jayson Tatum, and Jayson Tatum was missing.
Curry has good
Curry
defense
has
now.
definitely
Yeah,
improved.
but there's
Curry's
no
defense.
excuse when it's Jayson Tatum.
But you're
definitely.
6'8" overhead, 6 foot.
I understand. Like
You
Steph
can
Curry,
blow past Steph Curry. He can literally just truck
Steph Curry
him.
is playing better defense, and he's playing more intelligent defense.
No, you need Smart to step up, low key. You need Smart
Yeah,
because Smart's supposed to be that playmaker.
Stephen Curry is locked in this finals.
He wants that Finals MVP.
I want to just take a moment to just appreciate Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
If he wins this championship, he will win with 3 different number 2s, which is really impressive. I don't know if Kevin Durant is essentially a number 2.
He's
but
a number 2 because Curry was getting double team, so he's the number 2. that's how you do it.
So yeah, if they do win this year, it'd be Kevin Durant would be his number 2 for one of his championships. Klay Thompson would be a number 2 for one of his championships. And this one, I'd probably say Andrew Wiggins for how it's been so far.
See, that's what
Wiggins has
yeah
been really
Wiggins
nice.
Wiggins on Wiggins on Tatum. Yeah, Clay helping and Draymond, so it's hard for him to score. That's why you need Smart, Brown to hit those shots when they're open.
Yeah,
but their rotations is too locked in right now.
So yeah, that's just a shout out to Stephen Curry winning with 3 different number 2s. I don't know right now. Like I can't think of another player who's done that right now. I'm sure we could look it up later, but I can't remember a time a player has won with 3 different number 2s.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. So we'll see if Steph ends up pulling this off.
Definitely. But yeah, it's not gonna be an easy championship for the Warriors. I think they've had other easier championship wins.
And those wins were like when teams were hurt.
And they're hurt. And with this team, with the Celtics, their defense, #1 defense.
Yeah, but so much defense you could do until they do those 3 picks and Curry hits an open 3 and it's like, we can do about that.
Yeah. Then again,
all those screens are illegal
West,
too.
You know? The West is just
there's a lot of illegal
different.
screens.
The West is literally just different.
All right, let me change gears with you guys and let's get to the last segment.
Okay.
Each of us are gonna say one player that will surprise everyone next year. For me,
A team or
no, one player. One player. For me, I wanted to say Anthony Edwards, but that's too much of a homer move. I'm a Timberwolves fan, and honestly, I think nobody should be surprised with what Anthony Edwards is going to do next year. He's going to be an all-star. He should have been one last year, but if you watched him in the Grizzlies series at 21 years old, what he was doing, just get ready for next year. But player I'm going with is Chet Holgram. He's gonna get drafted. He's gonna get drafted in 2 weeks. He's a rookie.
Okay.
I know that's cheating. To bring up a rookie, but
I think that's fair.
Chet Holgram, he's a unicorn. I'm just excited. I feel like he can be. This might be a stretch. I'm trying to think if I should even say this, but I think he has the potential to be an all-star in year 1.
Wow.
With the only thing that I think would stop him is he's going to end up in a really bad team. It's either Orlando or Oklahoma City.
And he's not that NFL body yet, so he's need to adjust.
NBA.
That's NFL, my bad.
Yeah, I think Chet, 7-footer, doing a little bit of everything.
coming soon.
I think Chet is our second chance at Kristaps Porzingis. Let's see if he can be the unicorn we all wanted to see.
Okay.
I think he has a better chance of being an all-star if he goes to Orlando, because Orlando actually has some solid pieces. Like, you have Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, and Franz Wagner, and then put Chet in there. They're all young. They're all gonna learn together. I think Orlando actually has an underrated young core that people need to keep an eye on. Do they also have Wendell Carter? They do. They traded for Wendell Carter. So this team, keep an eye on them. Not now, but in the next couple of years, they could be really solid. So, which one of you wants to go first? You want to go first?
I'll go first.
I'll go. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I might be biased as well, but Brandon Boston